Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, HackerOne, for allowing us to come up here and talk to you guys today about how Salesforce has implemented Bug Bounty and how we're utilizing some of the data that we're collecting from Bug Bounty to enhance some of the security operations that we're doing. So like many aspects of security strategy, Bug Bounty programs grow and mature over time. In my experience, many companies implement Bug Bounty programs for a variety of reasons. Maybe to augment their internal security testing, their pen testing. Maybe they've got new products and they want to get a head start doing some testing on those outside of a full Bug Bounty program. As we've seen today, a lot of companies are implementing Bug Bounty programs as an integral part of their security strategy. During the initial program maturity, as it grows, there's many possible benefits that come from this, right? Organizations adapt their engineering processes to accommodate the influx of additional bugs. Scrum teams, developers add cycles to their sprints to allow them to react to and remediate bugs that are coming in. As development teams begin to see the value of the reports submitted, a lot of times what we see in Salesforce is they will reach out to the researchers over the HackerOne platform and begin to interact with them and gain camaraderie and start to learn a little more about security, ways to avoid vulnerabilities in their code, and ways to detect them. As time passes, the leadership starts to begin to see the ROI because they're seeing high value, high risk vulnerabilities detected and remediated before they're exploited in the wild. A lot of the benefits trickle down through to the SDLC. Perhaps we're seeing issues in our development lifecycle, maybe in our testing strategies, our approaches to testing, maybe in the policies, the security policies that are in place. Large corporations like Salesforce are constantly enriching their product. So as a company starts out, it's complex, right? We all have complex applications that we work with. Salesforce is constantly enriching our product functionality through new products, acquisitions, expanding the platform. We have to do this, right? Because if we don't grow, and if you don't grow in this industry, in this city, you basically die. Over the 3 years I've been at Salesforce, I've seen this in action. We've gone from something like this to something more like this. As Salesforce has grown, our Bug Bounty scope of testing has also grown. It's grown in tandem with it. Our goal is to have 100% of all Salesforce products in scope all the time. We're doing this to identify vulnerabilities in the wild, yes, but the real value that we see, the long-term value, is in the data that we collect from the reports that are submitted and from the data trail that is created by the vulnerability researchers while they're doing their exploitation experiments against our platform. Now, as with any big data analysis endeavor, the quality of the information gathered and the metadata around it is key for us to gain additional knowledge, to maximize the potential. A company's Bug Bounty program must be sufficiently mature in order to maximize the insights that we may gain from this data that we're collecting. Well, in order to be sufficiently mature, what does this mean? I see basically 5 main areas. First and foremost, support from leadership, C-level executives. This is where the money comes from to fund these programs. Secondly, we need support from the product owners. They need to understand that the bugs that they receive, that they need to fix those bugs, the security bugs. And even if this impacts their ability to deliver features, they still need to pay attention to these. The researchers themselves need a clear understanding of exactly what's expected of them and what they're going to receive in return. And we do this through our policy page on the HackerOne platform. Now, when I say clear and consistent, that doesn't mean that it can't change. It needs to be adaptable, right? If we see a vulnerability type coming in, being reported, maybe that turns out to be working as designed, or maybe it's out of scope completely. So once you have your policy in place, it doesn't mean that it's static forever. The third thing is a sufficiently mature process for bug intake, report intake. So what does this mean? First, we must have report triage and bug reproduction that's very efficient, right? We need to be able to triage reports as they're coming in very quickly, reproduce the bug, and know whether or not it's an actual bug. Second thing is duplicate report submission. We've heard a lot about that today. We need to have a way to make sure that we're not chasing our tails and going after bugs that have already been reported and maybe already been resolved. Accurate assessment of bug severity is also very important. Making sure that the developers and the researcher and the triage team all agree on the severity of a report keeps everybody happy and keeps everybody on the same page. Second thing we need, or another thing we need, is accurate assignment of bugs to the correct internal dev team for remediation. Across Salesforce, we have roughly like 1,000 dev teams or maybe more, right? And it's really important to make sure that that bug lands into the right queue right away, because otherwise the SLA gets impacted. Timely and consistent communications between the researchers and the program managers is also key. Making sure that any questions that we have get to the researchers and they are answered in a timely fashion, and the same for the researchers back to the dev teams and to the program management. Lastly, competitive, consistent, and timely payment of bounties really speaks to the satisfaction of the researcher community that's associated with your bug bounty program. The last two things, ongoing cultivation of the researcher community that's associated with your program, and continuous evangelism of your program in researcher circles. That means going to things like DEF CON, Black Hat, having tables, B-sides, talking to security professionals that are coming to those conferences, telling them about your program, and seeing if you can recruit them into your program. Now, with these capabilities, a bug bounty program has increased potential to contribute more than the identification of existing security vulnerabilities. Analysis of the data associated with bug reports and the data stream created by the researchers during their vulnerability testing can provide many levels of insight into the trends, root cause identification, right? This trend data can be used to identify gaps in the software development lifecycle, underlying architecture, software developer training, pre-release testing, and much more. By controlling the scope and bounty amounts, bug bounty program managers working directly with threat assessment, threat detection, root cause analysis teams, platform architecture, and others can incentivize certain bounty program scope through bounty bonuses and targeted programs in an effort to elicit specific types of attack data streams for analysis. As software security evolves and more data is collected and analyzed, we can also utilize what we learn to automate parts of our process and incorporate AI to provide additional insights into the data. Salesforce is currently using automation to try and reproduce automatically some types of bugs that are submitted to the HackerOne platform. So instead of having a triage team do the repro, we're having automation do that. We're also planning to use the Salesforce Einstein engine to help with duplicate report identification, severity assessment, and remediation team assignment as well. Now, there's lots of data analytics companies out there, as we all know, but Salesforce is really special and near and dear to us, not only because we work there, but because that's where our bug management product is. That's where the Einstein AI engine is, and all of our analytics data, or all of our analytics engine is there as well. So Emre is going to now show and talk about how we've implemented an API-based data stream from HackerOne to Salesforce in order to leverage some of this data in unique and new ways.
Cool, thank you.
You bet.
First of all, huge thanks to Roy and Annika right there. Without them, we had absolutely no program. So we wouldn't be talking here, but that's like huge success, those two. So maybe an applause for them. So,
and without our fearless leader, we wouldn't be anywhere, so.
No applause needed. So how did we get here? So basically, the data was locked in HackerOne, and then I personally wanted this data to be available to everybody in Salesforce, especially for technology, marketing, and product. And then, well, it was pretty hard to open thousands of accounts in HackerOne for them. So I'd rather get that data, stick into some sort of analytics platform, and give it to them. Also, HackerOne had OK dashboards at the time. They're getting much better. Thank you so much for working with us. And then we had also many programs, and then all of them, well, think about creating thousands of accounts for one. Now you got to do it to the other. Now you got to do it to the other. So it's hard. And then internally, we want the data to be free. Like everybody should be able to access that data. It could be via API, via dashboards, or creating lances, et cetera. I'm going to show you some of those. Also, Einstein Analytics has a pretty cute wow factor where you click on things and it's like does this like beautiful things, and execs really love that. So and then why not? Great, thanks. So the goals, basically, what was the goal for us to do this? We want to have a comprehensive dashboard. Like, we want to combine everything together and then like cover all as much as we can, basically. And then we want also updated data from all programs. I mean, that's like DAW, but also not that so much DAW, because there's a lot of things that we're missing, either from the fields of the reports, either from different versions of the program. We're kind of like grandfather of bug bounty with HackerOne, so we had some old reports that didn't have some sort of data. There's a lot of things that need to be happening here, and we're awesome partnership with HackerOne. We were able to do this. Again, the data needs to be open to the Salesforce technology teams, because otherwise, well, I bring the data here, I look at it, I love it. Now what, right? So if nobody else looks at it and then looks at their posture and everything, it's kind of like weighing, right? So, and marketing is really, really important internally for us to market this dashboard. API access to that data, I just touched a little bit on that, and then so anybody who has access to Salesforce Analytics can actually do API queries and get the same things that I'm going to show you as an API endpoint. Again, useful visualization of the data, and also I want this to be automated. I don't want to click a couple of buttons every day or hire somebody who does that. So I just want this to be fully automated. So how did we do this? Heroku kind of own it, right? It's our platform to deploy services. We deployed a service there to pull all the data from HackerOne every day, every minute, every report out there, and then parse it, and then put it in a CSV format, which is the easiest format. You can push it into Salesforce Analytics, and then we drop it into an S3 bucket, and then Salesforce Analytics comes and picks it up from there, and then does its magic, right? It creates the data set. Now, once the data set is created, we also marry that data with a correlation of all the bugs that we have internally. So if we have a HackerOne report that has an internal bug, they get happily ever, right? And then they get married, and I get more data out of it from our services and also from HackerOne, which helps us a lot. So this is kind of what it looks like. The dashboard has all synthetic data. I'm not going to show you all my bugs, okay? Let's be clear there. So it's all synthetic data. I had a really fun time to anonymize, but keep the uniqueness of the data. That was pretty challenging for me. So that was all a project all by itself. So what's next? I don't know if you ever heard Einstein.ai. Einstein.ai is open to everybody, not just Salesforce customers. You can go and start modeling there. They're pretty good with vision and intent and sentiments and also voice. So you can go there, and then what do we want to do? We basically want to create and use certain predictive models that we're actually playing right now for like bug creation, right? So what's a bug came from one of our researchers. We can take that and say, give it to the model and say, give me a predictive analysis of this bug and tell me what type of vulnerability this could be. right? And then we can actually standardize our vulnerabilities. And also bounty dollar decision, that's also really cool stuff to look at it. We use brackets on previous bounties paid, and then feed it to a certain type of description, and then a new description comes in, we can get like a, well, I think this is like $100,000 bug. Well, hopefully not. So bug routing is a challenge for us. It's huge, like you were saying. We have thousands of development teams, and then where are we going to route this? Again, I have the historical data of like thousands of bugs that we have, and then like I can teach this to a model, and then ask the similar type of input, and then say which product tag do you think, or which product team do you think this can be. Next one is HackerComm's automation. Right now it's all manual, copy paste from HackerOne's webpage, etc. Well, I don't know if you heard, but we're a marketing company, and communications is kind of like our business. So why don't we use Salesforce marketing tools to actually do automative communications? Let's say we have a special event that's going to start, let's say September 26, 2020. I can put all the content material right now and then schedule it to start sending 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, make a bunch of awesome things there. Yeah. All right. He said it. I'm done. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.